Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I just left the courtroom for the bond hearing for my son for the release for the third time. This time it was very fair. The judge was very fair. He wasn't pro-prosecutor, he wasn't pro-defense, but he was pro-justice. So he listened to all the evidence, and he's going to give a ruling in the next few days about what his position is for the bond. But we were very pleased at how it turned out. So continue, family, friends, and fans, continue to keep us in your prayers, and we thank you. And inshallah, God willing, this be victorious for us, that we have a good ruling in our favor.
To give some context to that video, that was Lil Durk's dad. So if you guys never seen Durkio with his father, that's him. Basically, that was his video that he did at Lil Durk's hearing today, and we're gonna get into all the details because I wouldn't say it was a victorious day, but it definitely wasn't a bad one. All right, so hey guys, what's up? This is Lil Wont. If you guys don't already know, I'm here rocking with All Urban Central. But yeah, guys, here at All Urban Central, we're going to get into all the details of Lil Durk's case, and we're going to simplify. We're going to make it really simple and just get to the main points. But as I said, you seen that video, that was Lil Durk's father showing him support, and he wasn't the only one showing support, as India also popped up. If you don't know who India is, that's Lil Durk's fiance, so she popped up at the court hearing as well. So if you don't already know this, Chicago rapper, Grammy Award winning Dirk Banks, aka Lil Durk, Durkio, Smirkio, is obviously appearing in court today after being charged in a superseding federal grand jury indictment with conspiring, basically a hire for kill plot for a rival. Obviously, this is in regards to Quando Rondo. Now, obviously, this is all alleged. However, the prosecutors are trying to prove that Lil Durk was behind conspiring a murder for hire, basically putting a hit on Quando Rondo back in 2022 in retaliation for Quando Rondo's crew, and obviously the shooting and the killing of King Von. So unfortunately, Durkio was not released from jail today. He has been arrested in Florida back in 2024 and is being held in federal prison in California, and this is without bail. Now, Lil Durk is in prison under a few charges, obviously the conspiracy of putting a hit on Quando Rondo, and also the charge of disarming a firearm leading to a death, which was not Quando Rondo, but in the shooting, actually Quando Rondo's cousin was murdered. If Lil Durk is found guilty, this could lead to a life sentence. Now, there were a few wins in court today, and we're gonna go over those pretty briefly. One of the first wins is that the court decided, or the judge rather, decided that he will not receive the death penalty. So that's a good win. So I definitely want to go on and talk more about the bail. Lil Durk obviously is trying to fight for bail until his actual hearing in October. However, the Judge Fitzgerald has not yet decided if Lil Durk will get bail. Another thing to note is that the victim's mom was pretty vocal in court today. He also heard the victim's mother, who wept as she cried, "My baby." Another thing is that the victim's mother, who traveled to Los Angeles from Savannah, Georgia, said that she fears for her life, which is definitely not helping Lil Durk achieve any type of bail because he's basically in jail right now for putting a hit on someone. So what's stopping him from putting a hit on her, and her being so vocal, I mean, that's definitely hurting his chances. Obviously, they also want to prove that he's not a flight risk. Lil Durk did put up $4.5 million to set for bail and $3 million of his own cash. The prosecutors hit back by saying that the amount was not enough and that the rapper has used his vast wealth to encourage violence. So just given his net worth, they still think that he might be a risk to society. And he even had his legal team offer to pretty much place himself under house arrest and hire 24/7 security to monitor his whereabouts. However, I don't really think that the prosecutors are buying it, as they're fighting back, and the judge, I don't really know if the judge is buying it. However, he is going to make a decision at a later time, and obviously the victim's mom fearing for her life does not help this in any way at all. They be on my page like Vaughn, I know they trolling me. Another huge win, besides obviously not getting the death penalty, was that Lil Durk's legal team, ahead of the bail hearing, was able to get the judge to dismiss any incriminating lyrics. You know, Lil Durk is a drill rapper, and he should be able to express himself creatively without fear of being prosecuted due to any lyrics that he produced or, you know, say in his raps and his songs. So obviously the prosecutors were definitely going to try to use that song. The prosecutors were definitely gunning for utilizing his Wonderful Wayne and Jackie Boy lyrics to just nail him in the coffin. Like, they just knew that they had this case in the bag just by the lyrics alone. We're going to play a clip right here.
About my brothers that I lost, I'm in my feelings. It's fucked up that I rather get revenge instead of me.
So we're happy to get lyrics dismissed from the case. Besides, we didn't want him to be in court and they're just playing the lyrics out loud. And anyway, the whole entire internet is yelling free Durk. And we're happy to see it because it almost seems like the internet was trying to gaslight and troll Lil Durk into literally catching a body. So to now see him in jail and potentially face a life sentence, it almost feels like he got set up, like he had to prove how gangster he was. So I feel like he was in a lose-lose situation. I mean, Lil Durk is a now Grammy Award-winning rapper. He has so much to offer to the hip-hop community, as well as the industry and the culture. However, he also has to sort of prove himself as who he say he is, which can be a really hard battle to deal with. And many people are just speculating all over the board, from lyrics to even interviews, that Lil Durk is incriminating himself for literally conspiring.
Everybody slide from wrong comments. I don't know if people still say it. For some reason, I just don't see the comments no more. For some odd reason. I don't know. Might be the water. You be seeing them comments a lot? They kind of chilled out a little bit. I don't know why.
Lil Durk has came such a long way and really revolutionizing Chicago drill as more of a mainstream genre. So I'm sure everyone's behind me when I say that we obviously hope that this case is just a process that he gets through, and hopefully he gets through and prove his innocence. I mean, obviously everyone is innocent until proven guilty in America, so I wouldn't use any lyrics or any interviews against him. So we're going to keep you guys obviously posted on more details surrounding his bail hearing and his future case as well. But as always, we have to ask you guys, what do you guys think?